Good day, folks, and welcome to the IT Way. My name is Joan, and today we have a very special video. We're gonna go through the main 5 mistakes. There are more, but there are main 5 mistakes that we're gonna cover in this video about the things that you do as a dashboard administrator. And that doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter if you're being experienced and have been years working with Cisco Meraki, or you're just started and purchasing devices and creating your organization right now. These mistakes can be done for anyone, regardless of the time that is working with Cisco Meraki. And this is a very crucial mistakes that we have to avoid at any cost, because these mistakes done in the different aspects during the process of you administrating your dashboard can even cost you time or money, which is way worse. So that's where I recommend you to go through the video, see all the mistakes, and at the end the remediations as well, to not do it anymore. So let's go through the videos and let's go through the mistakes. To start with the first mistake, we're gonna go through the first time when you were an administrator, or when you purchased that device, that Meraki gear for the first time. So what do? We just pick up the box, unboxing, get the serial number, and the first thing that you do is go to the dashboard to create your own organization. So you go to dashboard.meraki.com, create organization, claim the device, claim the license, and create a network and attach the device to the network. After you can see that everything's green, fine, healthy, what you do is just logging out from the dashboard and call it for the day. Well, that's a mistake. One of the most important steps that you can do when you create an organization is adding a new organization admin as well, not just you. And when you go through the same process, create organization, and you have over there and you put in your inventory the device and the license, first step, even before creating the network, is going to organizations, administrators, and creating a new credential. Regardless of the credentials, could be your secondary email or even your cousin's email, just to have it there. But then you say, Joan, why do I need another organization admin if I'm gonna be the only one administrating this organization? I don't want another one. That's a good question, Joan. I'm glad that you asked. And it's because if you just have one email address as your organization admins, what happens then is when you lose access to that email, or you forget the password, you know how to retrieve it, you are completely locked out of your dashboard, and your license is there, your network is there, and your devices are there. So you are completely out of control of any of that organization. And this is a recommendation that is not coming just from me. As you can see in the Cisco Meraki documentation portal, you can find information that's one of the main recommendations that Cisco Meraki is making to you. Please do not lose access from the network of your dashboard just for having one administrator on your account. So if you don't want to lose access, if you want to be out of control, and then you're gonna want to go desperately to Cisco Meraki support to help you in this aspect, first thing that you do after having your devices and create organization is adding another administrator email address on your account. So that's your mistake number 1. Do not leave just one organization admin in your organization. Now, going back to the scenario when you already have your organization, you have your devices, you have more than one administrator in your list, so it's more secure. You say, okay, let me double down in security. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use 2-factor authentication for my profile in the dashboard. So you say, go through the KBs, understand how to set it up, select the app that you want to use, go to the profile, enable the 2-factor authentication, go to the whole process, check, verify that it's good, and say, now it's more secure, so let me log out. Well, another mistake as well. Even though you have your platform where you can check the second code for the 2-factor authentication, and you can go to the dashboard and enable it, there is one point of failure that you're leaving it. And it is, what if you lost access to that platform that can give you the second factor in the authentication? What if it's your phone and then you lost it, or you leave it just somewhere, and now you need to log into the dashboard? You have that point of failure. And that's why the dashboard is providing, through the policies and the process when you go to the 2-factor authentication, the one-time passcode. In that way, if you save it, because that's the process they have to do after going through the whole process of the configuration 2-factor authentication, you will see those 10 one-time passcodes that this is going to save a lot of time for you, a lot of trouble. So when you're going through that process, copy it, save it in some place that is completely safe for you. And then when you have these troubles that you either don't have access to the platform where you get in the second code, or even your phone and you lost it and you just leave it somewhere and you need access, this is your time life saving for you. It's just one-time passcode. You can use one of them, go to the dashboard, enable it, and after that you can either disable two-factor authentication until you find your phone and you find access to your platform, or still using the other codes then for your purposes. That's something that it can be valuable when you really need it in some times. And this is what we can call it mistake number 2, is going through the two-factor authentication to get a better security, but during the process missing the part of saving all these one-time passcode for you when you lost your phone or lost the access to the second code authentication. Now that you're moving forward to the administration of the dashboard, that you know clearly that you have your organization, have your first devices and licenses, has a very secure profile with a two-factor authentication, and now you can see that your business is growing. You need more devices, you need more licenses, and you start seeing and investigating what are the things or the ways that you can purchase all these devices. So you find Cisco Meraki representatives, you find different kind of distributors or resellers, but you keep digging into the internet, you can find more platforms like eBay or second-hand platforms that you can buy from people who bought it previously, months, years ago, and they have a license and everything, and they can transfer your devices. After going through the internet and all these kind of platforms, you say, this is it. Same device, same functionality, a significant price dropped. So that's where I'm gonna buy. Well, that's another mistake. Purchasing Cisco Meraki devices from non-official resellers or distributors or coming from these second-hand markets can be very risky for your organization and the functionality of the devices in the future. Cisco Meraki has a very good policies and very restrictive with these kind of situations and procedures that you might have when you purchase the devices coming from non-official resellers. So be aware of that and be very cautious of who you buy that device from. As you can see down below, coming from the Cisco Meraki documentation, it states that if you buy devices coming from no certified sources, the warranty of these devices is not transferable. Yes, the devices, you're going to be able to claim it, the licenses as well, everything is going to work perfectly until the device is faulty. So when you come up with going to the Cisco Meraki support and then trying to request an RMA for this device, if they were able to identify that this was a transaction from no certified source, probably you're not going to have this RMA for this kind of device. So be very aware of that and take that in consideration every time that you purchase a device coming from no certified source. For these reasons, we can say that mistake number 3 is buy devices coming from these non-certified resellers or distributor that are not coming originally from Cisco Meraki or Cisco sales team. So now we continue in these roller coasters of mistakes that we are going through, and you have your whole network now secured. You have a bunch of different administrators on your organization. You have the two-factor authentication. You verify all the sources where you're getting this device from or directly from the Cisco Meraki sales representative of the Cisco, any reseller or distributor. You know for sure that they are completely legit. And now you have your devices on your hands. So you put it in your warehouse, you put it at home, and you have your IT department that is helping you out to claim and attach the devices in the network. Depending on the way that the IT department works on your company or the way that you work with your colleagues, you have different ways to approach in order to claim and attach the device. You set a list of all the serial numbers and just give it to someone and they type it down in the dashboard, or someone is typing down, the other person is saying out loud. And every method that you have, or probably you have the boxes, and what you do, just put it in the bin or in a general container. And having all these instructions, having all these processes, I can tell you for sure that that's another serious mistake. So imagine for a second if you have printed a list of all the serial numbers and you just lose that piece of paper. What can happen then if someone else can take this list of serial numbers and put it on their dashboard? So you no longer be able to even claim it or attach it to a network. Or the same thing, someone say it out loud to another person while typing, if another person is just listening to it. I know it's a little bit paranoid, but it's possible. Somebody else is listening to it and then can type it down, put it into the network, and now it's game over for you. And it's the same with the boxes. So in some Meraki products, in the box, you can see the serial number. So just throw in just general bin without even removing that lead or without destroying it. Someone else can take it from the bin, claim into its network, and now it's a game over for you as well. And something that is important to notice is even though you claim the serial number on your inventory, that doesn't mean that you are free of charge or free of someone else claiming the same serial number in the inventory and attach it to the network. As you can see below, based on the Cisco Meraki documentation, it states that even though you have the serial numbers on the inventory, it's just for the visibility for you to know that this is there. But somebody else can have it in the inventory and can even attach it to the network. So my recommendations from you is as soon as you get the serial numbers from the devices that you purchase through the email or through the boxes, go ahead, claim it, attach it to a network, regardless if it's going to be used or not at the moment. In that way, you are safe with all the devices that you already purchased. So based on all that information, mistake number 4 is purchase the device and then trying to claim it without not being able to because you provide either the list of serial numbers to another person, make it visible for everyone, or just throw the boxes to the bin and somebody else just got it. And now you can see that we have come so far based on all the mistakes that we have done previously. And now we have the dashboard secure, we have our profile secure, we have our devices secure. So what else do you see, Joanne? Probably a lot more. But what we're gonna cover is just one last different mistakes that you might have. When your company is expanding and you have several devices and now you're getting more and more devices, it's very good for you to think about how can I make this configuration better. And one of those methods is automation. So you start looking and Googling to see how can I implement automation in our Meraki dashboard. And one of the main parts is with the dashboard API. You investigate it, go through the documentation portal, find the steps to enable the API integration for your organization and how you create your API key in your profile. You start playing around with it. You can see some get commands. You go through it, but you step in one of the roadblocks in the process and you need to troubleshoot. Well, what is the first thing that you do? Just like reach out to your colleagues and say, this is not working for me. This is the API call and this is the commands that I'm using and this is my API key. Can you please try from your side to see if that works well? So they try from their side with your API key and they're having the same issue. Or probably you don't trust too much to your colleagues and then you go and talk to Cisco Meraki support and the same thing. You open a case or go through a call and you tell them this is the problem that I'm having and this is my API key. If you try from your side to see if that works, and they can say the same thing. Or from our side we're having the same issues, or explain you what the problem is and how to fix it. Well, for the last time, that's another mistake as well. When you enable the API key on your profile, it's the same thing as having your username and password. So giving that API key to another person is the same that giving the key for that person to unlock everything and make all the changes that you are available to make in the dashboard as well. That's why if you provide that to your colleague has the same administrative privileges for you or your dashboard right now. So since you don't give your username and password to anyone, you shouldn't give your API key to anyone. And that good tip as well is if you talk to the Cisco Meraki support, you don't have to provide your API key. It's the same thing as you don't have to provide your username and password. They have tools that they can help you to go through any problems that you might have and they can fix it. So if in any case you provide your API key to another colleague or to Cisco Meraki support, go ahead right away and then disable or revoke that API key and create a new one right away. In that way you can use it. But do not provide your key to anyone. And finally, that's mistake number 5, providing your API key to another person or another entity. So please do not do it. And those are some of the mistakes that you can make while you are using Cisco Meraki devices. I just select these 5 because those 5 are the most important in security aspect and it can jeopardize or put in critical condition your network because you either have lost access to the dashboard organization, have lost access to your profile, or you have lost access to devices that you purchase of licenses, or probably you have somebody else took your API key and has done some different modifications or even remove you from the administrator page of the organization. And these are very crucial things that I really recommend you to go through it and ensure that you can continue doing these best practices in your day-to-day basis. I would love to see any of you, if you have done one of these mistakes or if you have seen one of your colleagues doing those kind of mistakes, feel free to put your comments below. I would love to see what are the reactions based on these mistakes that we have covered today. And feel free to subscribe, to like and share as well, so everybody can see the main mistakes and try to avoid it as much as possible. That's how you make mistakes in the Meraki way. See you the next one.